What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Silks auction reveal. Got Troy, Charles, Ben, and your host Gavin. Take it away.
What's up, guys? Here for the third round of auctions. We went 9 for 10 last week in the auctions. 9 horses selling. Hopefully, there's another great patch of horses. And Troy, how are you doing? Joining us today.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what we have this week. Last week was pretty cool. I tell you, there was a lot of really good horses last week.
Chuck, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. Can't wait to see what we got.
Yeah, the 2021 My Red Bird, that was from last week?
That's from last week.
I'm going to bet on this one.
It's on OpenSea.
I'm telling you. She will be mine.
Let's see who we
Buy
get
it.
this week.
Ooh, look at this. You know, the one thing is, I will guarantee you that's not Chuck driving that van. You know why? Because there's no cell phone in this thing.
Ben, where are you?
What's up, man? How you doing? Missed you on the table today, my dude.
I gotta listen to the recording.
It's a good one. I love all these tags we have on our stream. It's awesome.
You know, Chuck, you get snow up there? We got a little snow here in Kentucky, just a little frost.
Yeah, we got 9 inches of snow.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have to shovel your driveway?
No, I did not. I have people that do that.
That's what I like about you.
Yes. Though I did almost crash the truck driving to the store. Actually, the store is a great time to shop when there's a snowstorm because there's no one there and no lines.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think that 2 out of the 5 people on this call have never done. I think Ben and Gavin has never shoveled snow.
I've shoveled snow.
Oh, you have?
I lived in
shoveled?
Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You shovel
wanna-
snow. That's for sure.
You want to come down to Toronto? We're supposed to get lots of snow on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's all came from that system. We got lucky. It just missed us. We had rain and our temperatures dropped, but we didn't get the snow. North Kentucky and Ohio got plenty of it.
Chuck, your tweeted a photo earlier today with Pegasus, not Flightline, not Epic Center.
The guy who
had
does,
me, I was actually laughing.
the guy who does those is about once a month he comes out with something that's just great.
I'm so surprised that they're going to run Cyber Night with this.
So here we go.
possibility
Game
of
time.
working. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Lay it on.
First one, gun runner. Boom. What do we
Tinko
got?
Charlie.
There we go.
So we're gonna pull up the pedigree page here. Matt, can we hit the learn more?
Kentucky
And
bred.
here we go. And so what do you guys first see on this page when you're taking a look?
Chuck, you want to go? You want me to go?
Sure.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's by a new stallion, Single Charlie.
who was
who
trained by
was,
Steve Asmussen?
Yeah, Steve Asmussen. He was a early horse. He ran. He won the Bashford Manor, which is one of the first stakes that's run for 2-year-olds at Churchill Downs. So he is, a kind of a speed stallion, and she's got a lot of pedigree. This filly in her third dam. Lewis Bay was a very, very good horse. You can see made over $1 million, won a bunch of graded stakes. Winslow Homer was actually a stallion in Florida for a while, so there's a lot of pedigree. Probably a speed horse, a fast horse that should run early.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you. You know, the owners of the broodmare, typically are, probably a small farm, because they're breeding to, younger, not very expensive stallions, but they're producing horses, and like you said, the bottom line is the third dam is produced. Anytime you can produce a stallion and a horse that makes over $1 million, there's sure a chance. And in these 2-year-old races, there's a lot of money for it. So if this horse is early, she'll probably perform, like you said, earlier, and we'll see where she goes from there. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you're going to have a whole group of horses that are going to start in April, May, June, especially with the horses who are bred to go a distance, usually not starting this early. So you get some early action is more likely with horses like this.
Yeah, the older sibling is a horse called Bowden, Boudin, who's a Brody's Cours, and also she made $23,000 as a 2-year-old, and she started racing early. So, again, going to a Cinco Charlie, figuring that there's probably, she's going to be more precocious as a 2-year-old is probably a pretty nice thing. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, and we can go on to the next. We got here. Twirling Candy.
Twirling
My
candy.
boy.
There is nothing wrong with twirling candies.
And you guys can take it away.
Chuck, go ahead. Start it off. I'll keep on filling in. I like when you.
Sure. Twirling Candy's been he really, when he went to stud, there weren't a lot of action with Twirling Candy, but he was so good producing so many good horses that he became a really a desired stallion, and he really gets all kinds of different horses. He's sired a Preakness winner. He sired winners on the turf. I mean, if you look under his at his pedigree page here, Concrete Rose is a turf horse, a filly. Pinehurst was made most of his money winning a Grade 1 in Dubai. Gift Box was kind of a sprinter, and Rombauer won the Preakness. So he gets all kinds of horses, and this dam has already produced 2 stake horses. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot here. I mean, this is a filly that's got a lot of pedigree, and by a stallion that produces a lot of winners.
I got a little update on this horse already. Do you want to hear it?
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. So she was sold for $35,000 at a weanling sale, and then sold back at a yearling sale for $90,000. So if you guys want to update that, and her half sister sold for $130,000 as a weanling this year, or last year in 2022, and it was a Candy Ride who turns out to be Twirling Candy's daddy. So there's a tremendous amount of pedigree in this page. Has a half sister a few years back who made $276,000 in her racing career. Has another, it's interesting. There's only one colt in this family, never made the races. All the fillies make the races. Another filly, a horse called a life that's good, not as the stallion life is good. $77,000 purchase, made $100,000 in the races, and had a pretty cool figure too. So, again, really interesting. Was a $90,000 purchase, not a $35,000 purchase. Half sister out of the Twirling Candy's daddy paid $130,000. So there's a lot there.
And one thing I like when you look at these pedigrees and you go down, you see the successful horses, including this horse's mother, Lion's Terms, the dam. She was a 16-time winner. And she's produced horses that win 6 times, win 3 times. If you go down to the second dam, Maddie's Lion won 7 races. Maddie's Heart won 4 races. Maddie's Dance won 5 races. Maddie's Tune won 6 races. Maddie's Art Tune won 12 races. So, I mean, these are horses that get to the races and win. I mean, and that's going to be the best thing for you, the people in Games of Silks is having horses that run a lot and win a lot, and that's this.
Yeah, look at the. I don't know if you added this one, but on the third dam, Maddie's Our Tune, she became a producer, and she had 12 foals, 10 race, 8 winners. With a horse that made $260,000 and is a producer too. So it's this comes from a producing family of basically a ton of black type, and again, she sold for $90,000 instead of $35,000, which was the average horse at that sale at that time. So this is a really well-bred horse. I like this.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, this horse got a lot of appeal.
Yeah. Ooh, I love upstarts.
Upstart.
Chuck, you can take us away.
Upstart, of course, is one of Troy's favorites. He's had a lot of really good horses already. Zandon, who ran in the Kentucky Derby and finished second and third in a lot of races. I think he won the Bluegrass. Kathleen O, who ran in the Kentucky Oaks. Mass Parade, he ran in races like the Travers. So he's getting really good horses. And this filly is, this colt is out of a mare who's produced some pretty good horses. American Sanctuary was a good 2-year-old, and there's a lot of pedigree down, lower in the pedigree on the third dam. Mayo on the side was a top filly, one of the best fillies in the Midwest a couple of years ago. So, upstarts are he's off to a really, really sharp start at stud. And his sire, Upstart's sire Flatter, has passed away, and Upstart is a pretty good bet to kind of take up the slack where Flatter left off.
So I'll give you a few little updates on this family. The mare had 9 foals. It looks like 1 didn't make it, and 1 isn't of racing age yet. So she had 9 foals, 7 starters, 6 winners, 1 black type. The family's made over $400,000. The younger sibling to this, which is a horse in 2019, an American Sanctuary at American Freedom, made $140,000. But what's interesting, and this is just a guess, Adri Stud, which is a very popular and growing stud farm in Kentucky, I think they own the brood mare, and I think they breed this mare because she was bred to Upstart. She has a younger sister, or a horse that's in foal, by Upstart. They bred her to Creative Cores, American Freedom, Majestic Perfection, Istan, Old Fashioned, which they used to own. So I really think this is what's called like a foundational mare, and they breed her to make racehorses. So I think the exciting part is that it's to Upstart, and as we all see, Upstart's just having an amazing career. So, and they bred it back to Upstart, so they must really like the breeding of that bladder line to this mare.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be excited about this Upstart. We could go see what else is in the what else is to come.
Number 4. Amazing Candy. Amazing Candy.
What's that, a California bred? Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
California
it looks
bred.
like it.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
I got to tell you something, and I'll just not even looking at this. The one thing about California that's really interesting is the purse structure to the population of horses is probably no better state in the world than California. Chuck, you agree on that?
Yeah, there's good money in California, and there's not that many California breds.
Yeah,
So
and you
there's
race
plenty of
for
racing.
Yeah, and in the state of California, it's literally a law about certain races, especially state bred races, have to go. Doesn't matter if there's 4 horses in it, and the purse has to be a certain percentage above like the average purses. So you race for a ton more money as a California bred racing in California. Right off the bat, you just look at the mare. The horses that make it make pretty good money, 122,000, 127,000. If you look all the way in the bottom of the third dam, the bubbler is the dam of Arrogate, who's probably would have been one of the best stallions of our time. Unfortunately, he had a accident out in the field, but Arrogate made $11 million. So there's definitely enough pedigree in this page. And then the second dam produced $1 million winner, and yeah, this is pretty cool. And again, it's one of those things in the racehorse business that you look at and you might just poo-poo it and just like, yeah, I don't really need this horse. But in reality, being a California bred, it's going to California, and it's going to be racing for pretty good money.
Yeah, I think that's important too. Is that California has year-round racing and year-round opportunities and a really strong stakes program. And if you watch the California breds lately, there's been a lot of 5 and 6 horse fields in those stake races. So if your horse gets in one of them, you got a pretty decent chance of, at the very least, hitting the board. But it's interesting. We were just talking about Twirling Candy, and this horse is by a son of Twirling Candy, Dancing Candy, who's who's a young sire, and is not going to have that many foals out there. So we don't know a whole lot about him, but the like you said, the family is very, very strong. The second dam is great, and the third dam, Meadowstar, was one of the best fillies of the '90s. She was really, really good. Matter of fact, her and MC Hammer's horse had a bunch of matchups, including the Mother Goose, where they went head and head, a horse named Light. But Meadowstar has been a great producing dam, and like you said, produced the dam of Arrogate, who, Arrogate was one of the top horses of the last 10 years. So, there's plenty of pedigree for a cow bred, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then you go ahead and you look at Papa Tony, just talk about auctions, evaluations of horses and all that thing. Papa Tony was a $5,000 yearling purchase, and right now is making $127,000 as a horse. Also,
yeah,
whoever breeds this horse, and I'm not sure who it is, they're making a pretty good bet on Dancing Candy, because they bred it in 20, 21, 22, and 23. So they're making a pretty good bet that this mare is going to, turn everything around.
I think there's a good chance that the mare is owned by the same people that own Dancing Candy.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, so that's usually a good sign. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, and a pretty good trainer, popular trainer in California, Papa Dromo. I don't know how to say his last name, but George. He's the one who bought the Tony, Papa Tony. So he likes this family, and you know, I think it's going to be all right.
Yes, sir.
What is this one, Matt? Number 5. This next one.
This next one, yeah, is the fifth.
Oh, look at that little night quest.
Nyquist.
Little Night Quest.
What was the auction price on it? I didn't see it too clear.
I believe it was 18,000.
Shows 18,000. 18,000. Back in 2017, she had a Kitten's Joy that sold for 50,000, made $94,000. You know that I think, and this is just going on a limb, but I think the reason this mare might not be, and she's a Pennsylvania bred, the mom one, but the mom is a brood mare, has a lot of trouble keeping horses having babies. And also in 21, Nyquist started losing a little bit of favor. The older sister sold for 45,000, and Nyquist started kind of going down in favor in that sale year. And now they're kind of picking up pace a little bit. Frosted is sure is his stablemate. Andrea Stables, I think that's do you ever hear of them, Chuck?
Sounds familiar.
They're the ones who bought this Nyquist.
Yeah, well,
So-
Nyquist is he's off to a good start. I mean, he still stands for 55,000, so
Yeah.
he's
And they
getting a
never
lot of
lowered
stake
it.
winners. He gets a lot of stake winners. He had the horse, maybe his best horse last year was Slow Down Andy, who just missed in the Breeders' Cup Mile, the Dirt Mile. He was the one that was closing on the top two, but he's had some pretty good fillies. He gets mostly colts. Most of his good horses, the stake horses, are colts. So there is that, but he had a nice horse that won this past fall. Horse named Powerful, who won the a new stake at Churchill Downs, Ed Brown, a 2-year-old stake on Thanksgiving weekend. So there's, I mean, Nyquist is a really good stallion, and he's got lots of good horses. I mean, there's just no, this one might be a little lighter on pedigree, which is why the price didn't come out as high, but he certainly is a horse who's eligible to get a really good runner.
Yeah, that filly Turner or Loose, she used to race against roughly a diamond all the time. And yeah, the just last week they had a horse called Tough Tickets, finished third in a stake in Pennsylvania. Finished second in a race a couple months ago in the Turkey Trot. That horse, Tough Tickets. Slow Down Andy. Is that the horse you were just talking about?
Yeah, yes, and he's pretty good. He's coming back this year too.
Yeah. So definitely got
He's
a
got
lot
a chance to be one of the better horses on the West Coast.
Yeah. So you can never go wrong with a Nyquist, that's for sure. And Arch as a broodmare sire is probably one of the hottest broodmare sires in modern times. So it's definitely as on a piece of paper without looking as the family. That's kind of where you want to head with a Nyquist or Uncle Mo line to an Arch. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, and we could jump on to the next one.
Yes,
here.
sir.
Halfway through, let's see what we got in the second half.
I feel something. We're getting the big hitters.
Midship.
That's my sire right there too, Midshipman. bred a few of them. They are
It's
beautiful.
another Troy favorite.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I can afford all these horses.
Yeah, this horse has a
First of
nice.
all,
This colt's
Winchester was
uh, a deep pedigree.
Winchester was one of my favorite horses, by the way. Racehorses. I used to love watching them race. So let's see. A matter of fact, they bred this horse to Street Boars.
Yeah,
A horse called Weekend Rags made
Winchester is
43,000.
a legitimate Grade 1 horse who ran all over the world.
Yep, absolutely. This horse, how much do we have him that he went for? 55 or 58?
55.
Yeah, matter of fact, he sold again for 58,000 as a 2-year-old to some really good people. So, very cool. And matter of fact, this horse is going to have a full brother or full sister, this breeding year also, because they went back to midshipman. So usually when they went from a midshipman to a street horse and then they went back to midshipman, normally that means that they really like the midshipman that they have, and that would be this horse, and that's the reasoning why they went back a couple of years later to midshipman, because that's you gotta wait a year to see what he really looks like. So when you look that deep down in this pedigree, there's some really really nice pedigree, and even the second dam, you go ahead and you look at that pedigree, it's again producing some really nice racehorses, producing a black type racehorse. The mare is young, she's only had a few horses, and the horses that are following her, unfortunately the one before her passed away, or the mare didn't have the baby, were bred to, again, street boars and midshipmen. So people are paying stud fees to prove this mare. So I think it's well worth the to take a look at this, or especially when you look at this third dam. She's produced everything. So more than likely the horse is probably going to like the grass, but there's a lot of grass stakes in America.
You ready to go on to the next one?
Yeah, we can jump on to the next. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Into mischief.
I said it. I knew something big was coming.
So I'm gonna say this. This horse you should not buy. No one should buy this horse.
Yeah, this one sucks.
This is
Hello?
this is not even a horse. We should just go on to the next one. Why Bob?
Yeah, let's just go on to the next one and let me take it.
So
It's okay.
I'm gonna give you a little thing on this. So this mare, so you weren't, and this is just going back. So this mare, this horse was sold for $700,000. Okay. The next year, this horse has a full brother, or a half brother, I mean. And you know who it was bred to? Nyquist. So that's what kind of stallion Nyquist is. But she's also had older siblings that sold for $200,000, $900,000, $200,000, $460,000. So this is basically called just, world pedigree, just great pedigree, period. And the people that are buying the horses, I'll give you examples. There was an older horse. A matter of fact, that horse for $235,000 that I told you about came back as a 2-year-old sale and sold for $1 million to Leal Stable, which is the ones that owned Chuck. What's that horse's name? Barbaro. Yep. And then the year after that, the horse was sold, and again, the different horse, but the full sibling to the horse that Leal bought was Claiborne Farm, which is one of the biggest farms in Kentucky. Then the next horse the next sibling was sold to Wimberley Bloodstock, which is an international bloodstock, and then this horse here was bought for Steve Young, which is a very well-known bloodstock guy. So you're just talking world class pedigree here, and the second dam has produced everything in the world. That horse Tax all the way at the bottom. That horse, I believe, after he won a couple of races, was sold for $1 million and just tried to come back racing now. So
Axe
this
was actually the
is one of those
in the
for the
Pegasus a couple of years
Florida
ago.
Derby.
The Pegasus.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
Pegasus. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the 2020
So-
Pegasus.
Yeah. So this is
2021.
just, you can't even say anything about this. Is just world class pedigree, and it's one of those things that if this horse, when this horse makes the races and wins his first race, there's more zeros added to the value of this horse.
I love it.
Well, let's see if the good luck sticks here.
Talk about
Malibu
highlight.
Moon.
Malibu Moon.
This was my personal reveal, right? We're doing the auction one after.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 stable highlights right here. Take it away, Chuck.
This filly by Malibu Moon, who's, he's a great stallion.
No longer with
us, but out of a Holy Bull mare that was a stakes winner out west, that's produced a stake winner of almost $200,000. It's nice to see black type and under all the dams. There's going back. There's black type everywhere. A lot of speed, with the Holy Bull Crafty Prospector mares. So Malibu Moon, of course, was a horse that produced plenty of stamina, and it's a really nice cross. And this is a good one.
Yeah. The family 13 falls, 11 starters, 8 winners, 1 black type, 500,000 made. So can't go wrong with this one.
Let's see. Feel
Number 7.
it's gonna keep up here.
Destin.
Let's see.
Woodflower by Woodman. I like that.
Destin's a new stallion. Todd Pletcher trained him. This is a New York bred, so another
Yep.
horse that a filly that did all the regional market state bred status applies. So obviously this one will be eligible for a bunch of New York bred races, which is a year-end program for a lot of money. Woodman has been traditionally, Troy could tell you, one of the top broodmare sires of the last 30 years. So this is, you don't see very many Woodman mares anymore, but this one has been productive as she has a stake horse and a stakes placed horse. And again, plenty of black type in all 3 dams, all 4 dams that show.
Yeah, this dam produced 12 horses, 10 starters. One of the horses, again, out of the 12 foals, unfortunately didn't make it. So it's really 11 foals, 10 starters, 9 winners, 1 black type winner, 1 black type finishing second. And the dam and her prodigies made over $1 million. So there's a lot to be said about that. And again, being in the New York State program, racing for more money with the New York stake races that they do have, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice showing the 4 horses under that dam all made $115,000 or more.
Yeah.
And showed up to multiple stake races too, right? So that's
Right.
wrong with that.
Yeah, 3 for 10. Well, we could go on to the next one. See
All right.
what else is on the Bible.
Last
What
but
number is this too?
this is
It's
the last one. Last but not least, let's see. Outwork.
Outwork has been the number one winning stallion recently.
Uncle Mo.
What a
Yeah.
batch of horses.
Uncle Mo was owned by Mike Rapoli, who started and sold vitamin water, and also what was the last one that he did? Under Armour.
Pirate's Booty.
Pirate's Booty and Under Armour water.
So
here's something interesting too, and you kind of like this. Again, normally as a breeder, you breed to something, the best bred horse at a very reasonable price for the first horse, just because the first horse usually is a little smaller than the other horses. And, you're really trying to hit the home run on the first one on a budget. Let's just say that. They came back and bred this horse to Union Rags. Okay. So when a horse is bred, you have to pick a stallion before you see the baby. So just by instinct and gut, they went ahead and they went to a higher price stallion to Union Rags. So at the time they probably bred Outwork, he was maybe 15,000. Union Rag was about 35 to 40,000. And then they go ahead and finally see the baby. Now they have to wait a year to get the next baby. And then they just bred this mare to Twirling Candy, who's at 80,000. So even though on paper, on the pedigree page, you don't see that they went ahead and bred this horse to a horse 7 times basically more expensive than the horse that is on this piece of paper. But the reason they did it was because of the way that this horse looks and acts. So if you just think of it that way, and then look at the pedigree on her, where again the second dam was an amazing racehorse, and she's starting to produce as a broodmare. And then you just keep on going through the second and the third dam. There's $1 million horses pretty much everywhere. Beyond Brilliant makes almost 600,000. The fourth dam produced $1 million winner. Also, the fourth dam also produced a dam that produced a $800,000 winner. So you could just see that this pedigree pops out with really good racehorses. And again, Outwork just recently, statistically, is like winning more percentage races than any other stallion right now in a small window, probably since November and December. So there's a lot of upside on this horse.
Yeah, the horse's second dam, Summer Applause, raced about 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, she finished 4th in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint in her last race. Was closing on the outside. Had she got a little better start, she probably would have hit the board in that race. But she's a relatively young mare, so the dam Summer Passage, unfortunately, she didn't get to race, but there's probably going to be a lot more black type coming from Summer Applause. I think I think she's in foal this year to McLean's Music. But she was a good horse. That was a horse that Chad Brown trained. And she finished second in the Spinster too. And she was sold. Summer Applause was sold for $1.4 million as a broodmare prospect after her racing career.
Yeah, and Summer Passage was, even though she was unraced, she was sold for $140,000 with this foal.
Yeah, this is a really interesting horse.
Yeah, so the dam who was unraced again, which is great. Again, going back for Silks, here's a horse that was never raced and then sold for $140,000. Now is a broodmare, and again, here you go, 3 horses, 3 years in a row, selling, valuations are going up. But Summer Passage literally sold for 140,000 in fall to this Outwork filly. So there's value to this filly without, people realizing.
Yeah, and Outwork gets winners. I mean, I think that can't be stressed enough.
Yep.
Lots of winners, and so it's a pretty good group. Kind of an eclectic group. A couple state breds and
Yeah.
a couple. We an Into Mischief, which is needs no introduction. Malibu Moon, kind of some rising stallions like Outwork. Pretty good
Yeah.
group. I think the bidding will be pretty strong.
Is that Chuck jogging?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps us up here. From here, we're going to be getting out the catalog sometime tomorrow. Same process as last time. The horses will be posted at different times, 2 horses a day, Tuesday through Saturday. And, I know there's a couple exciting horses in here people are definitely going to be happy with. So definitely see everyone at the auctions.
All right, guys.
Hey, good. When's the auction go live?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right. Same system. 10 up, 2 going whenever you stop the first one, every 2 days after that.
Yep.
Oh, 2 horses a day. We'll state times in the catalog tomorrow.
When do we start? What you're starting to bid at? What, $2,000 on these horses?
Yeah, 8,000.
8,000.
All right, I'm gonna make the first bid then.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning
All right,
in.
guys.
We'll see you
And
guys
the
next
starting
week.
bid price will be $500 USD.
Yeah, $500 for clarification.
Oh, it's $500.